right, we're on to day 3. Again, I'm doing 5 days straight, 1 track a day, to hopefully convince you, one, to check out my new album, Until I Seen It All, which is available everywhere you can think of, including Bandcamp. That's the greatest place to go and support artists. But, listen where you want. I don't have a problem where anybody listens. As long as you give it a listen, I appreciate it and hope you enjoy the album. All right, so day 3 is song Radio, and this is a pretty special one to me because, it starts out with this chord progression on guitar, and it's got sort of like an 80s reverb sound to it, which I really love. And basically, I think it was like a Saturday afternoon. I just started playing that, and I used this app on my iPad called Loopy Pro, where I can just kind of layer guitar riffs. And I did that, and then the next thing I did was I did some harmonies over it, and all that looped. And before you know it, I'm sitting there for an hour and a half writing this longer verse. I don't know if it's 20 bars, 24 bars, something like that. So it took me like an hour and a half. I do what I can in terms of trying to, if I'm in the moment, I'm in the zone, I'm inspired, I try not to leave it behind and, wait till the next day. Now, I'll do that with separate verses, but if I'm on one verse and I've got a good flow going, I will just try to finish that entirely, okay? And that's what I did in that case. I don't know when I recorded it, but, it's definitely a song that if I tried to re-record it again, it would be hard because the way that I deliver each bar, it's very specific. It's not an easy thing to deliver. Certain lines are just, it's a lot of words packed into each bar. So, in terms of the meaning of it, it's another song of mine about growth. Spring, summer, and fall, seesawing along, seeing all I can take on my own. I may grow alone. Sometimes I feel like I'm a man on an island by myself when it comes to being, an artist that's, in terms of performing and being heard, is based in Pittsburgh, even though I don't live in Pittsburgh. And just the content and the sound, trying to do more of an alternative hip hop than a traditional, just straight boom bap. Or, of course, the stuff I don't care for now, the mainstream rap version of, they call it hip hop. It's really not hip hop. It's something else. It's like pop music with rappers on it and, etc. I don't want to go down that road, but that's what I'm getting at. Like sometimes I feel alone in this genre. I know I'm not. There are some alternative hip hop artists in Pittsburgh, but it's not exactly a genre that people are like, man, this is the genre to gravitate towards because I'm going to get so many fans and so much attention and so many listeners. So, in that way, and I guess I felt that way most of the time. Like I've always felt like I'm sort of a loner in terms of my approach to music. Whether it's the way I approach making beats, the equipment that I use, the fact that I don't do like sample based hip hop for the most part. Like 99% of what I do is not a sample. If I'm sampling, it's sampling something I did. I play a guitar and maybe I speed it up, or maybe I slice it up onto different pads. So definitely feel like a man on an island by himself sometimes. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. My mother asked something too. It was funny. She was like, "What's with this mother line?" She kind of just said something like, "What do you mean?" I'm trying to think what the line is. It's like, blame my mama since she came to tuck in. She's like, what is blame my mama? What does that mean? No, that's just about me, the nature of me. I think I'm generally a nice person. I'm pretty laid back. A lot of times soft spoken. And so I'm just kind of like saying like, hey, I am who I am because the way I was raised, I was a lucky person the way I was raised. I was raised in a nice household. It doesn't mean I don't have a darker side to me or like a personality sometimes or like a bad attitude sometimes or, can get upset like anybody else. But, I am who I am. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to apologize for not having the background that some other musicians have. So and other people have, I just blame my mama since she came to Tucking. She treated me right. So that's basically what the song is. It's nothing complex. Of course, my homie Real Deal, who I've known now for some 20 years. I mean, we go back to the days of when there was like a venue in Washington, PA. It eventually became like a church, but there was a nice venue in Washington, PA. And we met there. I think it was through the Button Pusher, the JPG. No, not JPG. I'm screwing that up. I apologize, Button Pusher, if you ever hear this. Um, but she had her little promotion uh, company and was putting on shows, grand buffet kind of thing, and that's how I met Real Deal. And we've known each other for decades now. Always had a mutual respect. He's of course on a completely different level in terms of exposure and following. He's a battle rap champion. But he's always willing to collaborate when I want to collaborate. We've had a couple songs. I think this is our third song. Personally, it's the best one we've ever done. And I just, there was a couple of beats we threw back and forth. He really dug that. Then I didn't hear anything from him, and I'm like, dude, I made a joke referencing one of his battle lines because he has a battle line about in one of his battles he said, he kind of denigrated his opponent by saying that like he only gave him like 25 minutes on the shitter right during prep because he's a gym teacher. So he was, that's when he wrote the bars against this battle. So I was like, dude, I just need 25 minutes of your time on the shitter or whatever, to write those 24 bars. He had it to me in like a week from there, and he went to, one of the venues or one of the studios in Pittsburgh to record it. I paid him for, I won't get in all the business, but I paid him for his time. I paid him for, going in there because it costs him money to go and get it professionally recorded. Unlike me, where I'm just recording at home and, I do, of course, have mixing engineers and pay for those kinds of things and pay for mastering. But generally speaking, I record in my own home studio. So shout out to Real Deal, of course, for jumping on the track. It'll probably be the most listened to track as a result of that. But it's a great track. It's been played in a couple places. There's the Urban Suite, which is a radio show on a university in San Antonio. I know they played that. They routinely give me support when I put music out. So shout out to them, Urban Suite. And yeah, give the album a listen. If nothing else today, give the song Radio featuring Real Deal a listen on your favorite streaming service. Thanks for listening. I'll see you tomorrow.